Welcome to the show, guys. Got a really good one here for you. We're talking about 4 must-draft fantasy football sleepers. You got to target that are in a prime position to succeed. Now, listen, guys, I promised you a 7 a.m. episode every morning, but man, it's been an intense week for me. Now, I really don't share my personal stuff on here too much. I keep it to fantasy, but I had a newborn baby born on May 1st, a girl, third child, very, very blessed. And I also had some sad news. My mom had, some medical thing happen, blood clot, stroke. She's in stable condition now. There's some amazing divine intervention. Faith is a lot stronger after this to keep, a lot of stuff had to happen to get her in a position where she is stable. So thank you, Jesus. Thank you for divine intervention there. So it's been an intense week. I'm running on 3 hours. Well, I just got a good night's sleep last night, but I was running on 3 hours in the past 48 hours and still managing to get these episodes out here for you literally every single day. But the 7 a.m., working to ramp up towards that again. But again, very blessed on the baby, very blessed that my mom is in stable condition. So sometimes real life hits, and it's not just fantasy football. So again, very, very blessed for this, that we're in good shape, and I'm ready to go hit it hard for fantasy football. And, this happened a little bit in the off season here, so now I can really build up, get some even more motivation. You guys know how driven I am, but even more motivation for this season. So if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe, thumbs up, tap it, slap it, smash it. Lion mentality really helps the channel here. But yeah, it's just been a wild, wild week. Well, we're ready to get back to business as well. And for all you guys that pre-order 16 rounds, there's a reason why I wait a couple weeks after the draft. I try to let the depth chart settle. And also, guys, a lot of free agents are still trying to find teams. There's still some movements. I'm waiting for everything to completely settle. I haven't forgot about you. I added a dynasty players that I love that are immediate impact rookies as notes in 60 rounds. You can go check it out as bonus content there. If you haven't gotten 60 rounds, grab it. It's the Game Changer, Sleepers, Breakouts, Optimal Players Drafted Each Round, printable cheat sheet videos, everything you guys need, a video explaining all the optimal players drafted each round, mock drafts. I've linked it below. Use code SMASH to save. You'll be light years ahead of the competition. All right, guys? All right, let's get back to business here. Let's go through these 4 sleepers. I'm really, really happy about these guys. They're in great position, and I'm ready to dive into this, okay? Smash it, tap it, slap it, and drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. First sleeper here, great position. Malik Nabers sitting as wide receiver 26, round 4. Average ADP, that would probably shoot up. We got Daniel Jones, who's desperate in a position where he has to succeed. Make or break year for Daniel Jones. And he's finally got a top tier caliber Malik Nabers at wide receiver. Guys, this is an optimal position for Daniel Jones in regards to him having a bounce back because he's finally got a wide receiver, a true one, right? Now, Malik Nabers, like I said, wide receiver 26, 51 overall, round 4 ADP. This guy could have top 10 upside based on talent, and he's got swagger, man. His Instagram's can't guard Malik. He's got the attitude. He's got the swagger. He's going to demand the ball. He's got zero competition at wide receiver, and he's got a hungry Daniel Jones who's literally due for a make or break year. So all signs pointing to an amazing year out of Malik Nabers, who is a sleeper because you're getting a wide receiver 1 in round 4, where a guy like him, like a Marvin Harrison's coming off end of round 1, early round 2. Again, great volume from him in college as well. And also 1,559 yards, average 17.6 yards per reception, and 14 touchdowns. This guy was a beast in college. Great runner, great route runner, polished, amazing, ready to go. And he's going to be fantasy relevant right out of the gate, primed for a ton of volume. And Danny Jones, hungry and ready to get a true wide receiver 1. So I think he's a big time sleeper, and I'm going to be targeting him as my potential wide receiver 2 if I can, but we're going to have to see how the drafts go, see who else is coming off round 4. I laid it all out in 16 rounds. Number 2 here, guys, big time sleeper here. It's a tough situation there in Cincy, but the guy I'm talking about is Zack Moss. Now, let's analyze the situation. It's a weird situation because the guy that could really emerge here is Chase Brown as a sleeper. But I look at where these guys were drafted on their actual teams when they were drafted. Zack Moss, I think he's in his 5th season, was a 3rd round pick. Zack Moss was a 5th round pick. Chase Brown was a 3rd round pick. They're both in a committee on an offense that's very potent. We got Jamar Chase that's going to stretch the field. Now, Zack Moss is actually coming off round 7 to 8, which is great value for a running back 1 on his team. I'm not really a Zack Moss fan. Years to wow us, we're not wowed. Finally gave us a little bit of an excitement in Indy last year, stepping up when Taylor was gone. So, when I look at Zack Moss, he doesn't get me giddies. I'm like, oh, Zack Moss. And I'm really surprised they didn't address the running back position in free agency. And you can say, well, they got Zack Moss. I'm not really sold, but because of the opportunity, because we haven't seen Chase Brown do much. I mean, Chase Brown has, 4.1 yards per carry. We didn't see much. 44, attempts, 179 yards. He's got one receiving touchdown. It's his second year or whatever, and he was a 5th-round pick. We haven't seen much out of Chase Brown. So Zack Moss has a real chance to emerge essentially here and have the opportunity to run with this. Like, it's an opportunity of a lifetime on a high-octane offense, potentially. A healthy Joe Burrow. And they did draft I can't even pronounce his name. Amarius Mims, one of the top offensive tackles in round 1. So this is really good, man. The Bengals addressed the O-line. They got Zack Moss. So everything is working towards Zack Moss having a great year. So unless Chase Brown really proves in training camp he could emerge, you're getting the value RB1 here with Zack Moss. He's not exciting in regards to player-wise, but the opportunity is absolutely primed, and you're getting an RB1 round 7, 8. And again, I typically favor the up-and-coming youthful guy, but in this case, Zack Moss has kind of showed us flashes he could do it last year. This is going to be very interesting to watch a situation. Now, it seems like my typical knee-jerk reaction is to avoid these situations, and I probably will. And I'm not telling you to draft them, but I'm saying, man, this could be really, really interesting, and there could be some upside here for Zack Moss. Not sexy, but could be good. Number 3 here, Jonathan Brooks. Now, Jonathan Brooks tore his ACL. He's a rookie coming out of Texas. Top running back prospect, very elusive, quick, good hands. He could do it all as a running back. One of the top running back prospects out of this draft, including guys like similar to guys like Trey Benson. This guy's sitting as RB40. Coming off he's 125 overall. So what is that, like round 10 or something like that? Yeah, round 10, give or take. We're talking about the RB1 in Carolina. Again, you got some issues here we got to address. Number 1 is that ACL tear in November. He's progressing well, and I hear he's going to be starting out of the gate. And even if he does start, we're looking at a guy that's literally going to take some time to get into the groove, right? New offense. And a suspect offense, to say the least. They've added Deontay Johnson. They've made some moves to help Bryce Young, who's also in a make-or-break career type year. So the guys that I'm picking have to step up, right? These guys are surrounded by quarterbacks and players that have to make or break, and Bryce Young is one of them. So Jonathan Brooks enters a situation where he's got Chuba Hubbard in there. Chuba Hubbard is not a threat. Brooks is the main guy. The big question is, how healthy will Brooks be going into the season, and how good is that offense going to be? And there's a lot of question marks about that offense. But in regards to getting a potential RB1 for immense value, okay, like this is almost like a no-brainer if you get him in round 10. Jonathan Brooks, you got it. You must draft this guy. I'm telling you right now, the value is like insane. Okay, because there's no competition that I'm concerned about. Miles Sanders, I think they just added Rashad Penny. And I think they're just doing that just to give some sort of depth because, again, that uncertainty of like, is Brooks going to get going? And they just want a little bit more depth at running back, and I kind of get it, but Penny's absolutely useless. And I think it's similarly to what the Jets did last year, bringing in Dalvin Cook. And it's like, okay, I'm going to bring in Dalvin Cook, and it's like, okay, I got some depth there, but we're not really going to use them. But it makes you feel warm and fuzzy when you got a running back coming off an ACL tear like 7 months or 8, whatever, a year, just almost under a year out, okay? So let's go to the last one here. Again, if you're new to the channel, tap it, slap it, smash it, lion mentality. Let me know what you guys think of these sleepers. The last one's one of my favorites. And also grab the 16-round draft so we get all the sleepers breakouts. Use code SMASH to save. I appreciate you guys, all right? Follow on all social channels. All right, next guy is Zamir White, RB22. Dude, we are talking about the RB1 on his team. To put this in context here, James Conner is 21, RB21, which is ludicrous because Trey Benson is going to be the RB1 there. And a guy like David Montgomery is RB19. And he is clearly not, well, he's the RB1 when he comes out on his team, but Jahmyr Gibbs is the man there. And it's a split committee at that point. I'm kind of turned off both those guys. Jahmyr Gibbs, very expensive. Montgomery, I don't care for. But the guy I'm talking about, like I said, is Zamir White, RB22. He's 69 overall. So we're looking rounds 5 to 6 for a true RB1. And now understand, guys, the question mark here is like, he just hasn't shown much. Now, he did come alive. They willingly got rid of Josh Jacobs, and they willingly gave this guy a ton of volume. He was getting like 22 attempts a game near the stretch there. Like, now I don't know what the average was, but it was high. He was acting as a true RB workhorse, and he came out of his NFL draft. They did draft another running back. He is the man. They brought in Alexander Madison, but Madison's always been a backup. He had a chance to be the RB1. He absolutely blew it. He sucks. Listen, guys, Zamir White is in an absolutely great situation. They've got veteran Devontae Adams there. They've got Minshew, who's not a running quarterback by nature. And he's going to, they've got people to stretch the field, right? Jacoby Myers, whoever the other wide receivers are. I'm not drafting their wide receivers, but Adams is there. They've got options. They also got Brock Bowers as well, who could be, he's a top tight end prospect who I heard is going to be limited to start the season, but he could be an offensive weapon to stretch the field, block, right? Short routes. But this is really interesting because Zamir White, untouched in free agency, untouched with the NFL draft, and really heated up near the end of the season. It's almost similar to the year I asked David Johnson to help endorse my brand back in 2015, where he had the amazing end of the season, had like almost like a record-breaking 2016 season on the Cardinals. So you're looking at like a guy like Zamir White, youth, opportunity, talent. He's got what it takes, man. This is really, really interesting and exciting, and I love the value. I'm going to be aiming to get Zamir White later. I mean, as late as possible, but maybe around before his ADP, because this is just, he's being slept on. RB22 for a guy that can finish top 10 potential. And in a world where there's a ton of committees, I don't believe Madison's a threat. He sucks. This is absolutely amazing for Zamir White. Madison was brought in for depth, which is totally understandable, but Zamir White, amazing. So Zamir White, Jonathan Brooks, Zack Moss, Malik Nabers, absolutely amazing value. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, if you love fantasy football, if you want to escape from reality, smash the thumbs up, subscribe. I appreciate you guys. And I got to get back to some family business. Hope you guys have a great day. I'm going to keep the content rolling for you. And 16 rounders, buckle up. The first video release will come out next week. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. Turn on that bell for breaking news and amazing fantasy football content. Appreciate you guys. Sleepers for you. I'm out.